Upstarts TV live stream. Please accept my humble apologies for our technical difficulties on our first run. So, we all know that the marketing landscape and the business growth landscape has changed quite a bit over the last couple of years since COVID. And that has led to a proportional decline in face to face meetings and incline in FaceTime meetings. So we all meet digitally now. And I'm gonna bring somebody on who is quite skilled in selling over the internet. In fact, we're calling this live selling. This innovator has made time out of her busy holiday weekend for us to share her story and what I hope is going to be an inspirational look behind the curtain at just one of the ways that leaders must adapt to the changing economic climate. I have to admit, as a marketer, I was very surprised at myself for not focusing in on this live selling concept earlier. It wasn't until I met Chloe that I had this epiphany, and now I can't turn off all of these thoughts about the potential applications of live selling. So here to tell us all about it. And we're just getting her in here. Please hold on a moment. She'll be here shortly. Little background on Chloe. She sells high-end luxury, pre-owned, pre-loved bags, like from Louis Vuitton, over the internet. And there she is.
Hi.
Welcome, Chloe.
Good afternoon or good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are in the world.
Wherever, in discrete location.
So what do we have in the background this time?
Oh, it is my personal collection. We're in my humble abode. We're in my house right now. So those are not for sale, by the way. Those are just my personal collection that I have been a, I say, addict for
like a bag addict?
Bag addict, not just, it's an addiction, like just like anything else. Some people collect watches. I collect Louis Vuitton, and it has something to do. Yeah, I look at it as, because my future doesn't equal my past. I look at it as a reminder of where I come from and where I'm going to. Most people, it's just a bag, but to me, it has more deeper meaning to that.
Well, how do you decide which bag to take out with you on a daily basis? Do you have?
It depends.
Do you have a schedule, like this bag?
Not really. It's so what I do is, it depends on if you have been a Louis Vuitton fanatic or you've been collecting. Depending on the weather, you know which one to take. You think it's just a bag, right? So there's bags that has a raw leather, like it's not threaded leather. So if it's raining, you don't want to use a lot of bag. Like, for example, it's perfect weather here, and this is bag with a bunch of they call this bacheta or baqueta, however you want to pronounce it. When it's raining, you don't want to wear this. When it's raining, I would wear something like either this or something like this, which is no vachera when it's get wet, snow, whatever. It's easy to take care.
So I'm wondering if the audience sees what's happening right now. Chloe just took over my live stream and is live selling straight from her own inventory.
I wasn't selling. I was showing. You asked. I'm a very visual person, so I figured you would appreciate. I appreciate it better when someone is showing to me rather than saying it.
Yeah.
I have, just so you guys know, I have a severe dyslexic, and I have undiagnosed ADHD. And growing up, I thought I was stupid because it doesn't click. Like the way you learn is different than the way I learn. Now that I'm an adult, I just found out that I learn differently than other people. So acknowledging that, now it doesn't go away. I just manage it better.
Yeah, well, everybody's different, and ADHD isn't something that I think should debilitate you. It shouldn't be a death sentence, you know.
Mm-mm.
Like so many of these so many of these diagnoses.
Absolutely. It just makes you better, unique, gives you a better opportunity to
That's right.
handle day-to-day tasks. It makes it challenging, but it makes it more fun.
I have the opposite problem. I get overwhelmed by too much stimuli, and I love silence, and I love focusing on one thing at a time. So we all have our foibles.
Demon to face, right? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So I want to talk about your success in live selling luxury goods over the internet. How did you come into this?
Okay. I think I'm gonna need to take you back what prompted me to do this, because in America, I think Western marketing, they haven't fully dived into it. I guess it's mostly in Asia, particularly in the Philippines. Everybody there and their mother do live selling because of pandemic. It actually started with pandemic. So okay, I'm gonna take you back, way back, how got me started with Louis Vuitton.
Far back as you want to go.
Okay, so it all started when I have my first pre-loved piece. I graduated as massage therapist in Jacksonville, Florida. I wanted to reward myself working full time. I'm going to school full time. I kind of want to, you know what? I deserve one. I've always wanted one. There you go. Good job. Way to go. So I got my piece. It was Speedy 25. A regular Speedy 25, when back then I paid $700 for it. It was pre-loved, but $700 back then. And now that is no longer $700. And then I realized that I don't have to spend a bunch of money for a bag that I have been dying to get since like as soon as I could remember that, I thought I have this misconception in my head that Louis Vuitton are just for rich people, for politician kids, like if you have a lot of money.
As a status symbol kind of
thing. A status symbol, and especially in my country where I grew up, that if you are an actresses, like famous people, you carry one of those, so it's a status symbol. So my past doesn't equal to that, so I'm like, okay, well, those are just for people. Now I come to America, and then I realized that if you just work hard, you have your job, it's really not that far. And then when I got my own piece, that was the start of my addiction. But it didn't really become a full-blown addict up until I started making money in working, 8 to 5, doing marketing and all that stuff. In 2014, that's when I met my Chloe version of me now. What that means is I found my person that trustworthy that her supplier is from Japan.
Okay.
So the problem back then is that's when I realized that Japan is a pre-loved heaven. Back in 2014, that everybody the pieces that I like, I prefer vintage than newer item because of the quality of canvas that this vintage has,
Oh.
vintage
Mhm.
pieces. Once you've been collecting Louis Vuitton, you'll see the newer versus the newer canvas, the materials that
Yeah.
is different than uh, the vintage. So I made a conscious decision that I like vintage versus newer. I mean, I'm not saying that newer there's something wrong with it. I just preferred it because I
You
think
know what? That makes sense to me. That resonates with me. And if you don't mind me going a little bit into my background, I had a high-end rare wine brokerage with my dad.
absolutely
This was back in the 2007 2010 era, and
same.
I didn't even drink alcohol until I was like 21 or 22. I was a little bit late on that discovery, right? But when I found wine, um, especially high end, very sumptuous wines, I got fascinated by them. And my dad started this high end rare wine brokerage. We were selling over the internet, kind of like
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing with the Louis Vuitton bags. And we started it to fuel our appreciation and consumption of the product.
Absolutely, yeah, because he
You know?
appreciated. Who
Yeah.
better way or who better person to kind of market it when if you're product of the product.
If you have a passion for it, then you're
Amen.
perfectly suited to market it.
Amen. Yes. Absolutely. So yeah, that's what happened with me. I got my first piece, and then when I know I can afford when I started buying, and then when I buy it from the US reseller, it's a lot higher because they've already put profit on the mark on the item that
Right.
they bought from the
So
Japanese
when did
reseller.
you realize that you had a valuable asset for resale on your hands?
Actually, I didn't realize it. It was my sister. There's four girls.
Okay.
One in Europe, one in Spain, and one in Houston, and I'm here in Japan. So we're all over the place. Because we come from the same background, luxury item. My sister is the one who got me into. She has way more collection than I am. So my daughter's life is set because she doesn't have a she has a son, my nephew, and all her collection goes to my daughter. That's her legacy. And mine too, like pieces. But she's the one who got me into kind of pushed me into selling, not wholesale, but selling because I know I can speak and talk about the product. She said you're already in Japan instead of just because here we're not really working because we're in SOFA status. We're connected to military. But she said,
Okay.
why don't you help the people in United States that want to have access to this item, like kind of help the people when you first started,
Sure.
and that kind of click. And then the logistics side of it, the more I think about it, the more it was challenging for me because the language, first of all, the language was so hard because I don't speak Nihongo. I don't need to because we're inside the base, we're connected to the base, so every single person I encounter with are Americans. So if I wanted to learn Nihongo, it's just extra, it doesn't really have to. But then if I wanted to go to the Japanese side, which is where the bags are, I need to communicate with them
So,
So,
Chloe, could you explain your business model a little bit to our audience here?
oh yes, sorry about that. So
That's okay.
right now, I we cater towards, it's a business to business. Yeah, that's my background. Working in a corporate world, I specialized in. I wouldn't specialize. I just developed my
I I
skills
remember
better.
looking at your LinkedIn profile,
Yeah,
and you come from the corporate world, right?
I come from a corporate world. Actually, I did. It doesn't really matter whether it was a business to business. I just wanted to be right there in face of people. I Most people, they would rather do telemarketer. I want to shake people's hand in
Hmm.
face to face customer service. Direct marketing is my background because
Okay.
it's easier to say no to people when you're marketing them on the phone and click than saying no to your face. So
Right.
I found that very fascinating, and it makes you, because English is, when I first got to America, I couldn't really speak English, and one of my mentors said, "Face your fear, and fear will disappear." So the first thing I ever did was pick up the phone and answer, "Hey!" That was the first job I ever accepted, was receptionist, and then I kind of push it a little farther. Oh, I can do marketing, but face to face. So we did that. The campaign that we were taking, that we
Do you
were
consider yourself a corporate refugee?
yes to the yes to the yes. Absolutely. And that kind of why
So,
I wanted to help people, because I was able to get out in that cycle. And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
what made it possible for you to make the jump from a salaried position in the corporate world to an independent business professional who sells goods over the internet? What happened? What had to happen in your mindset and in your financial situation?
In my It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. First, I have my support system is amazing. My husband, he's actually, I call him my number one investor. He gave me $2,000. Some people do it as little as $300. They invested a $300 piece of bag, and then after that, they sell, and then whatever profit they get from it, you sell again, because these pieces are, if you buy it, you can sell it right away. I remember when I first, not wholesaling price, early on into this business, he gave me $2,000, and then
To
in
buy some product,
to buy items, yeah,
okay,
doing reseller,
and then you resold that product.
yeah,
If you
in
don't
two.
mind disclosing, what was your margins on the resell for that?
Now you're talking about, you're asking hard questions now, Tyler.
Hmm.
It depends. So when
Okay.
I was, because there's two sides of this business. There's wholesaler and there's reseller. Okay. I consider myself as wholesaler, even though I don't, it's not my item. And then we're gonna talk about, that's where the live selling comes in. Just in order for me to service the American, it's either you're online seller or you have a boutique.
So,
Those
so
are my
you
targets.
ultimately you're serving the end user, which is the
Yes,
buyer, right?
yes,
But you're on the uh, top of the ladder there as a direct outlet from wholesale to reseller,
yes,
right?
yes. And what makes our program very unique compared to a lot of people that are selling it wholesale,
Hmm.
when I was first started doing live selling, because remember, I first did a retail part of the house, and then from helping other reseller, they said, why don't you start live selling, and then you go to this store that is available to you, and then just add your service fee and become our shopper. that was challenging for me at the beginning, because first at that time I have 2-year-old daughter, and the reason why we're in Japan is because my husband is working, so I can't work when he works. I have to stay home.
Okay.
But then I was able to make paint the picture successfully with him, where he said, okay, you can do in the weekends while I'm not working, you can live sell on the weekend. So I'm already doing the business during the week, doing retailer. So on the weekend, that was extra for me. When I got to the place where my co-seller was coaching me to do, I saw it that if I put a profit like they asked me to do,
Yeah.
it wouldn't live enough. It wouldn't as sweet. It wouldn't as be as enticing for a reseller like myself to buy from me. So I decided to waive the fee. What that means is I would just go to the store and then show them how much I pay, what the price that I see inside the store. That's all they have to pay. I mean, the tax, plus the tax, and plus the shipping. That's that. By doing that, that lives in a profit for them
So
to resell.
if you're able to sell inventory that's
Mhm.
in the warehouse, who pays you? The
Nobody pays
warehouse
me. Actually,
or the reseller?
the reseller, because it's
Okay.
not per item, it's the whole bulk. It's like, you know how realtor and landowner,
Right.
the
It's like
realtor,
a
they don't own the
commission.
land. It
It's
just
like a
the little bit
commission on
commission,
sale.
yeah. It just enough to keep me going.
Do you feel
And
comfortable going into some of the financial details of
oh yeah,
your so I wanted to ask you the big question,
okay, go
which
ahead.
is how much money can you make?
It's sky is the limit.
How
So it,
and how much time can you put into it to make that money?
right now, okay, I'm gonna just tell you a little, like the expense, like how what motivates me and what my expense and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I have to have, because I know my end, I know how much I need to make
You can paint in
monthly.
broad strokes, by the way. If
Okay, I point. I needed $10,000 monthly for me to survive. That's my bills. Both my businesses, my other businesses in the Philippines, my business in America, and my collection here. I just need break even. We call it break even, $10,000, right?
yep.
So knowing that clear in my head, I know how much work I need to put in, and I only work on the weekends. How much more if I work Monday to Friday?
So you only work on the weekends.
Yeah.
And what constitutes work on the weekends for you?
Live selling on the weekend.
So
Live
you get
selling.
on, say, Facebook Live
Mm-hmm.
to your audience,
Yeah.
and you're selling. You're at the warehouse. I know because
Mm-hmm.
I've watched you. You're at
Yes.
the warehouse and you're showing them items of value,
Mm-hmm.
and some people want to bid on those, right?
Mm-hmm. The best way to
And
get it
you
cheaper
record
is, yeah.
their bid or their
Mm-hmm.
offer,
Mm-hmm.
and the product goes to whoever wants it, right?
It's really not bid, because it is what it is. Let's say, okay, you are my audience. You're buying. This is the piece I'm selling. I really don't know how much it costs, but let's say the owner of the store, or the, we call it a store partner, this is what they have in their inventory. They go anywhere from 12 1,200 to 1,400, depending on how much they bought it, right? So what I really care is how much they wanted. how much would they sell it? They're willing to let it go. Because I don't put profit in it. Well, I kind of put profit at the same time I don't. The quickest way for me to convert it from yen, because remember, I mean, we're in Japan. We're buying it yen. I would just remove the last 2 zeros.
Okay.
That's how I make the profit. So instead of like whatever the conversion rate that day when I purchased the item, so it's anywhere from 5 to 8%. That's it.
You said you sell to American
Yes,
audiences, right?
dedicated to
Okay.
U.S. American and repeat
So
buyers.
you kind of have to do the conversion in your head in some
Yes.
cases. Okay.
Yeah, the quickest way, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether they buy a $1,200 worth of inventory or let's say, hang on, I'm gonna go. I'm just, see, like I said, I'm very visual.
Yeah.
I have
Well,
this.
that's what makes you good at what you do.
I and live selling is a visual too, so that I'm not just. I have my favorite SLG. When I say favorite SLG, it's called small leather goods.
Oh, okay.
Small leather goods are okay. So it doesn't matter whether you purchase. Let's say I'm featuring the
I
item.
love leather goods, by the way. I
It's
anything leather, I'm looking
they
at.
last forever.
Yeah.
And speaking of, and I because I have been in this community for so long, I know how to take care, how I know how to condition, and I share that to my viewers, and it kind of encourage them to like, look, I have
Oh,
been there. Yeah, I
so
do
you add
tutorials.
value to the relationship in that way.
Yes,
You show
yes,
them how to care for the
absolutely.
item
Yes, because
and
that's
give it
that
more
is
life.
the challenge. You got them to buy the item, right? And
Yeah.
now it's my responsibility to let them kind of make it look, because it's not because you paid $2,000 on the item it's not gonna go bad. No, you still have to take care of them just like anything else.
Yeah.
Not because what you're paying is for the brand. It's not. It's
I use saddle softener
yes. Oh, butter
on
settle.
all of my leather goods.
Yeah, butter settle.
Yeah.
I
From
you can help.
Germany, it's the good stuff.
Yes, it's the subtle. There's a rock and roll. I have it listed. I should. Well, now that we're working together, I made a video when I first started. If you go to my business page and
Okay.
Facebook, I think it was like the first few videos I did where I did service. Like I shared, it was an open forum. It wasn't like it was live vlog. I said live
Okay.
vlog where I let them ask questions and I elaborate more, because sometimes it's hard when you're doing live selling and then they're asking question and then I have all this idea.
And you know what? Speaking of asking questions, if any of our viewers have a direct question they want to ask
Yeah,
Chloe,
absolutely.
either about the process of live selling or her business, selling the bags,
I'm here to help.
the fine leather goods,
Yes.
please just post your questions in the comment, and we'll do our best to address them.
Yes, please. Ask away. So
So
let's say if
I have
you
a question of my own.
okay, go ahead.
Um, I already know a little bit of your background, but I want to ask you, like, who is the ideal um, who is got the ideal profile of somebody who should get into the live selling business or even sell luxury bags online?
Whoever wants to get out the corporate world,
Get
ASAP.
off the hamster wheel kind of thing.
Yes. Anybody. Because that's your pain. You don't want the idea is to work for yourself, right?
Yeah.
I told you this earlier. The reason why there's always a reason why I do what I do. I love Jeep. It represents freedom. Freedom to me is this is why I do what I do, because it allows me to buy the future that I want to have with my daughter. What that means is, in the next 12 months, we're transitioning from here in Japan to the Philippines because I wanted to retire my husband. Because of pandemic, we decided, it all started when pandemic happened, that we get forced to stay inside the house, right? We can't go anywhere. We can't play with anybody else but ourselves. We're staying in the house. And
Yeah.
then most people, two things happen. Either they made the marriage or break the marriage. And during that time, my husband and I, we were both new. I met him in 2000 and 2000 and 2018. We got pregnant right away, and then boom, we moved to Japan. So everything was
And now
fresh.
you have a daughter to watch
And
out
then
for.
now we have a daughter that is 3 years old, that we, oh my goodness, she is the center of our universe. And they both are my why. They're the one that pushes me to do what I do. And
Do
it's
you feel freer
oh
now than
yes,
you did in the corporate world?
absolutely. And I keep sharing this to people, that my daughter is the blessing that I kept avoiding forever, because at first I thought, I don't have kids. I love to travel. I don't want this. Like, you know how you think
I've
you
heard that
pick?
before from
Um,
relatives.
it's because I'm very go getter. If you haven't noticed, if I want something, I just go get it. When I realized that there's no distance between whatever it is that I want and it become, the world is my playground. Like, the question is, where do I go get it? So
That's the mental transformation there.
yeah, and knowing, because traveling and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
having my daughter, it amplify it to work even harder. And the amount of work that I do now versus when I was chasing whatever it was I was chasing back then when I was single, it's less, to be honest. And I have more reward now than then, if that make any sense.
It does. It
Because
does.
we all are given 24 hours in a day. We do. Whether we like it or not, every one of us have 24 hours in a
It's
day.
what we do
I
with it.
just Yeah, I just spend it differently than most people. And
Mhm.
I failed a lot because I try a lot.
So I know that you have multiple businesses that you're
Yes,
running
sir.
here. Are they all are they all live selling centric?
No, actually, that's just two of them are, because this one, the luxury business, it fuels the other businesses, and the other one in the Philippines. And because everybody is selling, live selling in there, it's just how, like, how in the States we do everything either walk in into your physical store or online, www.nameyour.com, right?
Yeah,
In the Philippines, that's another avenue of selling, is live selling.
that's interesting. And
Yeah.
and this is the reason I wanted to do this broadcast today,
Yeah.
because I feel like the whole concept of live selling is this unexplored avenue for Western business people, and you're doing it. You're doing it every weekend. You're selling a lot of product and making good money for your time. This
Yes.
is something that I feel is an overlooked opportunity for business people right now who may be outside of the culture of the
Yes.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Whatever you're selling, whether it's games or wine or real estate, how could you incorporate the whole live selling concept into those transactions? I feel like it's this whole unexplored
It
wilderness.
is. And it's so, the question that you just asked, it create more question that I don't even know the answer. I mean, it works for me because I am part of the community
And you're passionate about the
and I'm
product.
passionate about it. I think that's the key. That it's not scripted for me. It comes across like I was told by my mentor. When I say mentor, she doesn't even know that I exist. I just listen to her profile and she just resonates with me, and I read her books and all that stuff, and I felt like she's talking to me. And that's what, when we talk about passion, because we all have one. Some people, we just
Yeah.
don't know what it is yet. But if we showed people the little engine, that code story, that it could happen, it it really will happen. Like, I've read the book, that you think about it. You know what I mean? The secret.
There is no replacement for passion.
Yeah,
And
it's yeah. So
and that's cool that you have some people who have mentored you at arm's length over the years.
yeah,
I think
I
if we
have no
all think
problem.
about that, we all have one or two or a couple of those people.
Yeah, that we look up to.
Yeah.
The most people that actually changed my life drastically, they don't know I exist. I just hold on to them like they're my oxygen,
Hmm.
because success leaves clue. We just don't pick it up because we're too
Yeah.
stubborn, and sometimes we self-sabotage the success that is meant for us because we're too used of failing that it's okay. But it's the opposite, because life is supposed to be grand. It is. It's a, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not the amount of money they have in the bank. It's how they think, the abundance mindset.
Yeah.
It's all about how
All
you
abundance
think.
starts in the mind.
Yes, and your action would fuel that.
Yeah.
And I
And
didn't realize that.
you mentioned earlier your whys, your
Hmm.
daughter, your husband. Um, those whys can put us in touch with our motivation
Yeah, our passion.
to
Yes.
succeed, to utilize our passions towards something greater.
Yeah, I was told that your passion doesn't have to be, you don't have to get paid of your passion. I just happen to get paid with mine. Like Martin Luther King,
Yeah.
he has a passion for helping others, and it cost him his dear life. That was his movement.
Hmm.
Um, the reason, I guess, I was successful in what I do is because my intention was clear, is to help the people within the community, because it helped me. That was it. I was make God has I'm not saying that you're supposed to believe in God and everything, but that's just who I am, because of the culture that I come from. I am blessed in so many ways that I have no other option but to share the blessing that I have, that is given to me, because wealth is in the other side of the service. If it begins and ends with money, that's a short-lived victory. But if it's about helping others, transformation life, the wind just keep on going and going and going. So I centered everything to that. And because I believe in humanity, because somebody else believed in me. So what I do is I just give you my truth. I will encourage you, and hopefully I would add value to you, that it inspire you to do the same thing, because good supposed to be good. Good people tend,
Yeah.
we're supposed to be successful. So if we
So
can we cannot self-exist, we have to coexist.
if um, if you were to give, and this is a question from our audience, and I think this is a good time to ask it, what tips would you have for someone just getting started, and um, how to frame that? Someone just getting started in any business. It could
In any
be in a
business.
totally another business from what you do. Um, what tips would you have for someone who may be on the fence about like doing something and they just need that extra
Push.
prompting to go get over the fence?
Do it. That's it. Just do it with
Just do it.
fear in one hand and faith in the other, and then just do the leap, because you're never gonna know what's the other side if you keep, okay, what if, guess what if doesn't exist. You're never gonna know what's in the other side if you keep asking. That's what I keep saying. Self-sabotage, by the way. Oh, it's never gonna work. It's never gonna work because you already believe it. It's not gonna work, then it's never gonna work. But if
And then it becomes a
it's going to
self-fulfilling
work,
prophecy.
yeah. But I mean, I'm not saying that I'm just crazy enough to believe that, but this is what I do. It kind of, it benefit me because I was the receiving end of it
Yeah.
at the beginning, and then I just develop and I just incorporate everything that I've learned in a corporate world, in the business world, and I know how to talk to people. Like, and it doesn't matter what it is that you want; it exists. So what I
So
do, I ask people, I
you
ask
have
questions.
you sell pre-loved luxury items and other accessories over the internet.
Yes.
I don't want this to be about the product. I
Yeah.
want this to
No.
be about the mindset.
Yes.
What other products and services could this live selling concept and the mindset that you're going to go get it apply to?
First layer to answer that is it has to be tangible, like, or because you said
It's
something about
easier to
real
sell
estate.
tangible.
It has to be
I
tangible that you
understand.
can
Yeah.
see, that you can feature.
Okay.
I think you can do something like that in the real estate, but it would be, you have to paint a picture for them.
Yes.
Better, yeah, you just have to paint a picture or just hold the piece of property and then the picture. That's what you see, show it, and then link or whatever. But if you have a tangible item that you can use as, all right, because this is what I do, I just, hey guys, I describe, this is the best piece,
Okay.
nothing special about it, this is my key, whenever, so I explain to them what this is, right? They already are addict, they're already in my community, so I'll just say, hey, have you ever had like a problem in your purse that has that your purse have scratches because you paid a lot of money on your purses, and then you don't want that to become like scratchy because of your key and everything. So this is the best way to keep everything that is intact. And then you can even ask your husband to, like, hey babe, can you like move my car for me? And you just point a bunch of stuff that they've
So
been having an issue with.
I see this. I see this applying to almost any kind of product that people can be passionate about.
Yes,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe you're into high-end watches.
Yeah. Oh my, yeah, that is perfect. Like,
Maybe
yeah.
you're into high-end tech gear, like
Yes, jewelry. We just
$1,000
added
plus
jewelry too.
phones,
Yeah.
alternative reality glasses,
Yeah, tech
um,
world is number one. Like computer,
webcams, audio
webcam,
capture equipment, um, wine.
wine, cheese, food, anything tangible. It has to be tangible. Like, I just introduced jewelry into our inventory, because before it was just all, because
Oh,
I'm not
nice.
into jewelry. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into jewelry because I just accept jewelry because my husband gives me jewelry. But then I love bags. But then I see others, they transition from bags to jewelry because it's fashion. And by the way, the jewelry that we sell is Japanese gold. most of them are 18 karat gold or platinum,
Very
or
nice.
and they have diamond and all that stuff. But
I
it's so,
appreciate good jewelry too.
oh, it's, I just, if you go to our live last week, not today, because one my uh partner Summer, now this is when the freedom comes in, when you can duplicate yourself. I was so, because it's, this company is my baby, the luxury Tokyo Avenue. I started, I pick everything. It was so hard for me to let go, just like my daughter. Like, I don't ever have to let her go. But there's two things in the business, where you work on the business. Kevin said that to me, or you work in the
In the
business.
business.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now what we're doing now is working in the
On the
business,
business.
on the business,
On
working
the
on the
business.
business. So
Yeah,
gave,
that's a great story, because
yeah, I started.
one of the points I wanted to make on this live stream was that sometimes your breakthrough thoughts come from the most unexpected places.
Oh, I tell you where mine
And it wasn't
from.
until I met you, Chloe, that I had this whole live selling concept really uh, drilled into me. And you weren't trying to drill it into me. I just observed it. I saw you in action. I observed it, and I thought about the other applications of it. And now I
Yeah,
can't turn off the spigot. I can't stop thinking about like all these different ways that products can be live sold over the internet. I
yeah.
mean,
This is when I said to you earlier, success leaves clue. We just don't pick it up.
yes.
And like,
Yes.
I'm here, I'm picking every single thing up and giving it out to you. Like, guys, listen, I'm the breathing, living proof that it can be done. You want to know when I started it? Like, live selling, not the retail side of it.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us.
June 5th of this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not even 6
I thought you've
months.
been doing this for years.
I've been talking to people, like, because I'm a walking, talking billboard, working as a brand ambassador, product specialist. That's the both corporate world and
Okay.
back in the States, you know. But knowing that I can talk to people, remember, because when I first started, I don't know anything about English. That was my biggest thing. Like, I could never speak English because everybody's like, "Duh, duh, duh, duh," when I first got to America. And then I was told to face your fear and fear will disappear. So I picked up the phone and become a receptionist. Now you cannot stop me. I would talk to whoever I want to. It's
I
confidence in
love
the
it. I love
business.
it.
Yeah,
You're an excellent communicator. I want to give you that compliment. You are an excellent communicator, and maybe you have some Japanese lessons in your future.
oh shoot. I want to. I know a few words. Thank you. I don't think I am, but I appreciate you acknowledging that. My biggest thing is, I like, because I've got so much in my head, I like to cut people off, and my husband noticed that, like, you have to listen. Like, I've got so much in my head that I want to say it. That's the dyslexic coming out. That's the ADHD that I was talking about.
Okay. No, you're a good listener too. From what I've seen, you're a great listener too. I want to close this up pretty soon here.
Absolutely, because yeah, we've been
And
talking. Did I answer all your question?
yes, you have. I appreciate you going into your background too, and what led up to you doing this.
Yeah, oh, I haven't even told you that, like, what actually got me. Because Chloe, knowing now that you know who I am and everything, I'm very positive. I try not to let the negativity. I never entertain that. I always turn it down, because
You're preaching to the
naysayer.
choir here. I'm a very positive guy,
Yeah.
and everything that I want to focus on is all about, constructiveness and
Positive,
positivity.
yeah, positively. But with my culture, unfortunately we focus more on the negative because that's what we're
Oh,
used to. But it's not nothing fault of their own. It's just how the entire upbringing are to focus more on, doesn't serve you. But because of the mindset, personal development, I stay within personal development because it gives me so much joy, and there's another world out there, like what that can be done, like what what. So I stay in there because it's like a double door, over double door and double door, and it just makes me a better person, and that allows me to be a better person for other people, and
yeah.
it postpartum depression was real. um I got pregnant. We got pregnant and we got to Japan. We didn't know how to speak the language and everything. We just stayed home. So it kind of just hit there. So I wanted to, my bag is every time I'm in the dark place, I just play with my bags, and I stayed within the community. They would share their bags with them, bag of the day. This is mom. Like we talk to each other within the groups, and that pulled me out because, well, now if I talk to these girls in front of a camera instead of just offline, because we are talking offline in Facebook groups, like we share our pictures and all good stuff.
Hmm.
If the girls has new bags, we would just like, because we're a tribe, we like to, we like company.
Yeah.
And so I decided, well, maybe if I start speaking to them and talking to them, maybe they can relate to me. So I created my own platform, my own page, and that all started. And it went from 3 viewers to 4 viewers to 20 viewers in 25. And most of them, like 5 of them, are my family members. But I would honestly say that I have solid 20 to 25 viewers that are actual buyers that
So
I.
that's actually really remarkable what you just said, because
Oh, sorry.
you are selling thousands of dollars worth of product uh, for a few hours out of your time every weekend
Hmm.
to 20 or 30 people.
Yeah, basically, I'm,
And
I'm shopping for them.
so what that means for our viewers who may be in totally different businesses is
Okay.
that whatever their business is, whatever product they're trying to move, you don't need a huge audience.
No.
It's quality over quantity.
Amen. Amen. Most people, they would have 2.5 viewers, but then they don't have any movement or anything like that. It's like you
Right.
said, quality over quantity. I mean, quality over quantity. Yeah. Because those viewers that I have, or I wouldn't call them viewers because they're not. They're my clients. I'm there to service it. Like I said, if you put them
Right. Yeah.
first,
Actually, they are your clients.
they're my clients. I'm just
Viewer is not
shopping
the
for
right word
them.
for that.
Yeah, because I took the fact that I was transparent with them to start with, and the fact that I didn't put that much profit on the item that I was doing for them. So I'm,
Mhm.
I'm really here for them. I'm not there for me. That's why they're loyal. That's the cornerstone of this company is trust and loyalty.
Amen to that.
Because it's so hard to build a trust with somebody, let alone across the country, let
Yes.
alone right there in camera. Like, but then we have something in common. We have interest. Our passion is Louis Vuitton.
And not just
Community.
not just product, but we have mindset in common.
Yes, that too, because they all are business people. And
Yeah.
I just literally open my heart to them and says, "Hey, I'm here. I'm here for you. If you want to help me, if you want me to help you, I'm here for you. If you don't, that's okay. If you resonate with me, let's come, let's play together. Because we all queens. I call all of them queens because we are. And sometimes we need somebody to kind of help us straighten our crown because we all are queens.
So I really appreciate you coming on with us today to share your story.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.
It was a joy
Very
having
much.
you here.
I cannot wait. I know we have off.
I want to have you back on
Oh,
this show
okay.
to share your progress, new developments, new insights.
Yes.
With our
Actually,
community here.
we're next year is. We cannot wait to share you what is happening in the background. There is so much that I can't tell you yet. So watch out. There is, he's laughing over there.
I love it. I
He
love
knows
it.
something. Yeah, this is just the beginning. This is just, we found a platform. I never thought I would, I mean, live selling is it was just the beginning. Now you can capitalize it in the sky is the limit.
The
Well,
sky is the
taking
limit here.
2020.
And you know what? It would be also great to teach people how to do this in a more
Yes, that's
structured
why I'm
format.
here.
That would be I think that would be a very compelling offer.
I would love to. Come. I'm doing it already.
You're doing it. You're the model. You're the model.
Yeah, I service them. So if you guys wanted to go to my go look at the old the very newer.
So
videos.
Chloe,
Yes, sir.
If somebody is intrigued by the live selling process, or they might want to make a business out of doing what you do,
Yes.
reselling pre-loved high-end merchandise, yes. Where can they find you on the internet?
So my business page in Facebook, because we're live streaming on Facebook.
What's the best way to connect with you?
Best way to connect with me is in Facebook, Tokyo Luxury Avenue.
That's Luxury Tokyo Avenue.
Luxury, because it's a luxury, in Tokyo because we're in Tokyo, and it's Avenue because this is I can deliver it to you. It's a way. I was gonna pick street, but it was too much. I just said it's
and
Avenue.
That's your Facebook business page.
Yes, that is my business, my Facebook business page.
And if someone wanted to reach out to you personally, should they do it through Facebook or email?
Yes, through Facebook. I'm glad that you type in my full name, which that is my, you can find me on Facebook, Chloe Isabel Macmillan on Facebook, or in LinkedIn, that's my full name.
And we'll make sure to put your full name in the description for this live stream.
Yes, first name, middle name, and last name in Facebook is the key, because that's the future. If you're not on Facebook live streaming, you are missing out.
He said it, not me.
Oh.
Hey, it's been a real pleasure having you on the live stream, Chloe. Thank you,
Tyler.
Thank you.
Okay, then it's because it's here.
I would love to have you back again. I'm gonna wrap it up here because we're coming up on the hour.
Yes, sir.
And anything that we wanted to say but didn't, we can get out on the next one.
Absolutely. See you in the other side, and please, everybody, stay authentic. Be you. Bye.
Great message. Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you.
Well, that was amazing. I'm really glad I had her on. Our dialogue went in places that I didn't really expect it to. I kind of had it scripted out and just threw that in the circular filing cabinet. So we eat our own dog food around here. I'm going to hope you don't mind if I do a little bit of live selling of my own at the end of this broadcast. We're going to be exploring the concept of live selling a lot more in the Upstarts community. And that's going to go from wine to real estate to art, all things that I have a finger in. And I think the applications of this live selling concept are numerous and extraordinary. So we're going to keep looking into it. We'll be demonstrating more examples of live selling in action in the Upstarts community. So what is Upstarts? Upstarts is an invitation-only network of proven startup founders and entrepreneurs and business people and growth practitioners. It's my word for consultants, who are all invested in each other's success. Only 100 charter members, charter memberships are going to be available at a one-time fee of $299. And once those are claimed, membership's going to be $50 a month. If you're interested in finding out more about who we are and what we do, and you're interested in joining us, just please write "I want to join" somewhere in the comments section on whatever platform you're watching on, and I will be sure to follow up with instructions. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to our next Upstarts live stream, where we share inspiring professionals like Chloe and business advice that will hopefully help you put your best foot forward into the future. Happy holidays, and remember that a grateful heart is never half full.